Hi, I'm Sheila. Thank you so much for signing up to this free event. I'm glad to see you here. So this session is all for ambitious women. It's for people who want to get on in their careers but are holding themselves back. And I know what that's like, so I want to help you with that. So the idea today is that I'm going to share the 5 strategies that will help you actually step up and make an impact in your career. Because when I'm talking to women, the biggest thing that they desire is to actually add value, to make a bigger difference. Does that sound like you? And I know that was the same for me. I mean, yes, we want to earn more money, but it's not about the money. The money comes with the ambition. The ambition is generally about making a bigger difference. And, we know that we're capable of doing it, but we hold ourselves back. So I just want to share these things with you. And as you will know, I have written a book now. You can see it here behind me. So this is my new book called Step Up, and this is the 5 success strategies to help women climb the corporate career ladder. And these are things that I've learned over the years. They've helped me be a success in my career. They've helped other women that I've worked with be a success in their career as well. So they're all proven technologies here, and they're really straightforward and easy to follow as well. So if you want to buy a copy of the book, then it's on Amazon. Just search for Sheila Starr and it will pop up, or you can buy it on my website because it's a really useful book to help you understand what's holding you back and some techniques and things that will help you move forward. So we're going to spend the next little while just going through some of the strategies in the book. This session is basically designed for you if you're a corporate woman and that you do want to get on. It's designed for you if you want to make that bigger difference and, of course, earn some more money. And we shouldn't be shy about talking about money. It's okay to want to earn more money because more money means that you can do more. You can, support your friends and family better. You can have a great life. You can stop worrying about the things in your life because you're financially secure. And you can give more away. You can outsource things. You can, employ people to do your cleaning. You could donate more to charity. So whatever you think, don't be scared to think about money. But really, a lot of this is about wanting to make that bigger impact. And I see you all hiding. I see you all hiding behind the jobs that you're doing, and you're great at the jobs that you're doing. So let's talk through some of that as we go. I've got a few slides to share, so let me just share my screen and then we can get going. There we go. There we go. Right. So, as I said, this session is for ambitious women in corporate jobs, people that want to climb the career ladder, people that want to get to the top, because in those senior jobs, you make a bigger difference. You've got more authority to go out and do the things that you know are going to make things better for your clients or your customers, your colleagues, whatever your ambitions are. And the promise from me today is to really just show you that it is possible. I mean, I started with nothing. I left school at 16. I had very few qualifications, practically nothing to speak of. And I went from that 16-year-old person where everybody told me that I would never do well because I didn't have a university degree. But they were wrong. And, I soon discovered that they were wrong. I worked hard, I got curious, I asked questions, I pushed myself, and I ultimately ended my career as a senior leader earning a 6-figure salary. So I just want you to know that it is possible for ordinary people. You don't have to be particularly smart, or you don't have to work over hard in order to get there. You have to work, you have to be committed, and you have to be ambitious. But most of all, you have to have courage, and we'll talk through that. So some of the things I see women talk about when I'm having conversations is that they're not fulfilling their potential. They feel that they've got more to add, and that means that they're not earning their worth. Is that you? You don't feel that you're earning as much as you should be. You're not fulfilling the potential that you've got. And this is why there is a lack of women in senior roles, because we hold ourselves back and we don't push ourselves forward. We don't believe in ourselves enough. And what you really want is you want to step up. You want to believe that you can get that top job. You want to make that bigger impact so that you can earn more and make your life comfortable for yourself. But most of all, you want to make a bigger difference. I know I've spoken to lots of women over the years, and this is what they say all the time, is that they are capable of more and they want to make a bigger difference. Sometimes you do have to take a leap of faith. You have to find that bit of courage. And, you know, some years ago, some of you may have heard this story before, but some years ago in my career, I sort of felt a bit frustrated. I knew I wasn't fulfilling my potential. I knew that the job that I was in wasn't adding the value to the world that I wanted it to. And I came home from work one day thinking, what am I going to do about this? Because you get comfortable, don't you? It wasn't a bad job by any means. Pay was okay. I knew how to do it. I was good at it. But I just felt that I had more to offer. And I was standing at home that evening deciding what to eat, which wasn't very inspiring. And I just thought, oh, let's have a look. Let's have a look for a new job. And so I started having a little look and I found this job. And it was to set up a contact centre for a housing association. And it looked really exciting. And customer service was my background. So that was why that job interests me. And as I started looking through it, the whole self-doubt thing creeps in because it said, you know, that they wanted somebody in social housing. Well, at the time, I didn't even know what social housing was. They wanted somebody who to set up a contact centre from scratch. Well, I'd never done that. And they wanted somebody who had a university degree. Well, I didn't have a university degree. Like I just said, I left school at 16 with nothing. So I doubted myself. I was like, well, I'm never going to be able to do this job. They're not going to employ me, are they? So I pushed it to one side. But over the next couple of days, I was like, I just kept coming back to it and thinking, why not? Let's have a go anyway. What have I got to lose? What have I got to lose? They can only say, no, you're not, you know, we're not interested. So I put an application form in, which is what it was, no CV at the time. It's an application form. I put in all the things that I could do, all the experiences that I did have, and I got an interview. Well, of course, once you've got an interview, you've got a chance, haven't you? So I put my all into that interview. It was with the 3 directors. It was a presentation, 15-minute presentation on what I would do to set it up, what the first 100 days would look like. And I put my all into that presentation. I researched that company to death. I knew everything there was to know about that company. And I turned up for the interview that day and I was crapping myself. My legs were shaking, my palms were sweaty, and I remember it because it was pouring with rain outside that day. But once I got into the reception area, I didn't even hear the rain on the outside because my heart was pumping so loudly. And I'm sitting there in reception thinking, why am I here? What do I know about social housing? You know, what do I know about setting up a contact centre? What if I can't answer the questions? What if I look stupid? Well, I know I'm here now, so let's go and do it. So I did my presentation, I answered the questions, and as I'm answering the questions, I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I can answer these questions. And what I realised was that I might not be the expert on social housing in the room, but I was the expert on customer service. And as I started answering the questions, I got more and more confident, and the interview went really well. And they offered me the job. And I was like, oh my God, now, you know, if I had never applied for that job, then I'd never have known and I wouldn't have started my 20-year career in social housing where I was able to climb the ladder. So sometimes you just have to have that courage. It's not about confidence. You don't have to be confident. You have to have the courage. You have to have the courage to get over yourself. You have to have the courage to understand that, you know, whatever happens, you do your best. And at some stage, something miraculous will happen. And that could be the same for you. So just understand that, you know, job descriptions are just there. You might not feel that you meet all the criteria, but if you think you can do the job, then still go for it. Because it's all about getting your mindset right. But it's about having that courage to at least try. The more you try, the better you get, and the more chance you've got of succeeding. So what is holding you back? Have a think about what is holding you back. Courage. And what is stopping you? Have a think about it. Spend some time, reflect on it. Be truthful with yourself. Ask yourself honest questions. What is it that's really holding you back? So we're going to talk about these 5 strategies to help you climb the career ladder. So I'm going to go through them one at a time and, you know, just have a reflect on each one as we go through. And there's more information on my website. You can always contact me if you want to know anything more, but let's dive in. So step 1, as I just mentioned in that little story, really, is all about your mindset. Because what happens up here dictates the rest of your life, dictates the rest of your actions and how you go. And this is all about you getting yourself in the right place and understanding, what it is that's holding you back. What is your mindset telling you? Because you'll have some limiting beliefs that are stopping you get where you want to go. And I've got this mindset strategy, which is detailed in the book, and I do with my coaching courses. And it's all about addressing these 6 things. And it's a little process that you can go through whenever your mindset's in the wrong place, whatever it is it's about, because sometimes it's different things, isn't it? Today it might be about your job. Tomorrow it might be about some meeting that you've got to have with maybe about something to do with health or something to do with your children's school. There's always something that gives us turmoil in our brains, and this little strategy helps you get your mind in a better place. And I'm just going to cover a couple of points from the beliefs point of view, because we all have these beliefs. But this little program, as I say, it's detailed in the book, and you can work through it, and every time you work through it, then your mindset gets better. So we're talking about overcoming your limiting beliefs. That's the biggest thing that we all have. We have these beliefs that we tell ourselves, but they're not true. They're just what we're telling ourselves. And we know they're not true because we all have different beliefs about the same thing. They can't all be true. So next time you're thinking about something, ask yourself, is this true? For example, I used to always think that nobody would ever buy from me. When I set up my business, I was like, oh, nobody's ever going to buy from me. And that was a belief that I had because I didn't feel good enough, because I didn't feel an expert. It's like, who am I for people to listen to me? Nobody's ever going to buy from me. And that held me back because I didn't even try and sell then. I didn't even try and tell people what I was doing for a while. And I had to stop and I had to reflect on this and think about it and think, is this true? I was like, why would it be true? I know people who rate what I do. I know people. But then once I got that first sale, I was like, okay, this is it. People will buy from me. And of course, people will buy from me. People have been buying from me now for, some time, and they all benefit from it. And I know I can help people. That was never the issue. The issue was that I thought that nobody would spend their money with me, and they do. And maybe you'll be one of those people moving forward. But whatever your limiting belief is, so maybe it's something to do with your career, which is obviously what we're talking about here today. So it might be that you think you could never be a great manager. Well, why not? Is that true? You can learn how to be a great manager. There are other people out there being great managers. That means you could be a great manager. Maybe you think that you're rubbish at interviews, but are you really? So maybe some of your interviews haven't got you the job. Maybe some of your interviews haven't been the best that they could be. But is that just because you don't know how to have a successful interview? You can learn, you can practice things. And all these things that you're telling yourself, they are not true. They are just what you've decided is true. So you can have a little think about that. And then the other thing is all about empowering yourself. So give yourself permission to think differently. Give yourself permission to ask those challenging questions. Empower yourself to do better. Empower yourself to go for that next level job. Say it's okay. Just as if you were talking to one of your friends or your children, give yourself permission and empower yourself to move on. Because once you master your mindset, the rest of it is much easier, believe me. So what beliefs are there that are holding you back? Take a little bit of time to reflect. Now, reflection is one of the things I cover in the book a few times, because I don't think any of us ever take enough time to reflect in our lives. So this is an ideal opportunity to take a few minutes and just think to yourself, what is it that's holding me back? What do you believe about yourself, about your position, about your environment, about your situation? Maybe you think that you won't go for that next level job until your children have left school. Why? Why is that? Now, there might be some practical reasons, but be honest about it. Don't make it all about you and about fear. Don't use these other things as excuses. So what beliefs are holding you back? Have a think about it. Okay, so step 2 is all about clarity, because clarity really gives you power. And I've got a 5-step process in the book about clarity. But what we're talking about to start with is to look at the evidence. This is about you knowing all the skills that you've got, all the capabilities that you've got. What are you good at? What are you passionate about? And keep track of it, because we don't, and then we find ourselves in job interviews or deciding what we want to do with our future. And we're like, I don't even know what I want to do. What is it that I want to do? What am I good at? What do I enjoy doing? What does success look like for me? Sit down, take some time. What are you good at? There'll be so many things. If I ask you to write a list, which I will in the book, you will write a long, long, long list because there are so many things that you can do if you think about them all. So you've got to have a look at the evidence. And then you really have got to understand what success looks like for you. So this is all about understanding, what's a priority for you in your life? Is it about making more money? Is it about the status that comes with a better job? Or is it simply about having flexibility to live your life? Is it about working part-time? Is a job actually not that important to you, but it's just to bring an income in? You have to know, only you can know what success looks like for you. And, what is it that drives you? What are you passionate about? Is success about earning enough money that you can pay off your mortgage and own a second home? Or is success to you all about, doing the best that you can for your customers so that they have a comfortable life? And they don't have to be mutually exclusive, of course. You could earn a lot of money and be helping people out. So it's just about you getting really clear on what success looks like for you. So you take the evidence of what you're good at, what you're passionate about, what really drives you. And then you think, what are my priorities? What do I really want to do? What is the outcome that I really want? Always be honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, then you won't get there. You'll end up going in the wrong direction, which I have seen people do before. So this is, again, all about reflection, all about knowing, who am I? What is it that I want to do? And then number 3, it's all about selling yourself, because we are rubbish at selling ourselves as women. We think it's sleazy. We think it's arrogant. We don't like selling ourselves. We don't like promoting ourselves. We don't even, not even very good at taking compliments, are we? It's like, oh, you look nice in that top. Oh, this old thing. Oh, yeah, it cost me £2 down the market. We're just not good at that sort of thing. And we're just very modest about things, and we do a great job and we're good at so much, but we're not very good at selling ourselves. And we have to get better at selling ourselves, because if you're not good at selling yourselves, and you are stunting your career, you're holding yourself back. And again, I've got 3 things here. There's a full chapter in the book about selling yourself. This is about gathering the evidence, but this is very practical evidence. So this is where you're looking at your outcomes. What are the results that you've actually got? What is it that you've achieved? Make sure that you keep records of all of the things that you achieve, all the projects, all the staff things that you've done. Gather that evidence and keep a note of it, so that when you go to interview and that, you've got good examples that you can use to sell yourself. Notice your success, because again, we're so busy, we just get on with the day job. We don't even notice what we've done that's well. We don't notice the impact we've made on our staff or our customers. We don't notice, even the little things that we do that have really made an impact on something. So make sure you notice it, and then you need to claim it. You need to claim your achievements. You need to say, I led the project that came in on time and in budget. I increased the engagement in my team by 10%. I increased customer satisfaction by 3% over 2 years. I, not we. This is all about I. When you're selling yourself, it is all about I. Now, this isn't about claiming other people's achievements, but whatever success you've had, you've played a major part in it. And when you're going to an interview, it's all about you. They don't care about the rest of your team. They're not the people applying for the job. You have to talk about you. You have to talk about I. What happens as women is somebody says, oh, that was a really good job. Oh, it was nothing. No, you did really well then. Oh, it was a team effort. No, this is all about you claiming your achievement. And this is where it helps you believe in yourself. Once you gather the evidence, you can properly look at it and go, oh my God, look what I did about that. Be proud of what it is that you've done. Notice it and then claim it. How good are you at selling yourself? Give yourself a score between 1 and 10, and then work out how you're going to get better at it. Step 4, this is one of the real top secrets I want to share with you, because the real secret to success is about being more visible. No hiding. No more hiding. You've got to get out there. You've got to talk to people. You've got to show people who you are. You have to be visible. This is a real game changer for your career. If you want to climb that ladder, if you want to get to the top job, You have to be more visible. People have to know who you are, because if they don't know who you are, then you are missing out on opportunities. People won't come and talk to you. People won't recommend you. People won't put you forward. People won't talk about you. But if you get more visible, then all of these things become more possible. So a couple of things I'm going to cover here. One is all about showing up. So first of all, you show up. Wherever you're invited to something, you show up. When you're actually there, you properly are there. Make sure people know that you're there. Don't hide in the background. So attend meetings that you should be going to. Attend meetings that are going to help you with things, where you can go that you perhaps wouldn't normally go to. And then when you're there at these events, speak up. I know so many women who sit in meetings and don't say a word because they're worried about what they're going to sound like. They're worried about being shouted down by somebody else. They're worried that they're asking a stupid question or their opinion isn't valid. It is valid. Believe me, you have got something to offer, but you have to share it. There are so many businesses that could be run so much better if only the women sat in meetings and actually shared their thoughts and ideas. Constructively, of course. We're not talking about conflict here. We're not talking about arguing. We're talking about constructive opinions, constructive feedback, ideas that you might have on to improve things. You have to speak up. And then the really scary thing is you have to go networking. Networking is so amazing for your career. Now, networking is not a short-term fix, it's a long-term fix. It's about connecting with people, it's about building relationships, and then it's about capitalizing on those relationships. Because as women, we're really good at building relationships, but we don't capitalize on those relationships because we feel that it's a bit rude to do that. We feel like we're using people, but this is a two-way street. Networking is all about supporting each other, building those connections, because I know people who have made a success of their career simply by networking. They've not been that great at their job. They've definitely not been the best person, but they've got out there. They've talked a good talk. They've showed up. They've spoken up, they've networked with people and built these amazing connections. So when somebody's thinking, oh, we've got a new director job, oh, do you know what? They'd be really good for that job. Let's go and have a chat with them. I promise you, networking is a long-term strategy. But if you want to get to the top in your career, it's absolutely vital that you get comfortable networking. And I know what's going through your mind. It'll all be about time. It'll all be about, oh, I'm shy about doing that. You have to get over it. Time is an excuse. Time is just an excuse. We all have the same amount of time. You choose how you use it. And if your career is more important than anything else, then you will find time to do these things. Okay. And then step 5 is all about investing in your own growth. And again, as women, we don't do that. We invest in our children, we support our husbands, we support our colleagues, we help them, and particularly female managers, we're always investing in our team, making sure they get the training that they need and the support that they need. But we forget about ourselves. We don't give ourselves the time or the money. We don't invest in ourselves in time or money on our own self-development. And we really should, because self-development is so important. So this is all about scheduling it in. Schedule in your own self-development. Book it in like it's a non-negotiable meeting. Pretend you have a meeting with your boss that you can't cancel, and go and spend some time doing self-development. Decide what it is. Some of these steps we've already taken about getting clear about who you are and what you want, the next steps in your career. What could you be learning in order to get those next steps in your career? Schedule in the self-development that you deserve, that you need, because if you stay where you are and not learning anything more, that'll be much harder to take that next step. And then, of course, the biggest thing is all about taking action, because you can learn as much as you want. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't implement it, nothing changes. If you don't take action, then you stay stuck where you are and nothing changes. So you have to find the time. You have to decide what's priority. You have to prioritize yourself. And this is another thing I do cover a little bit in the book, because what I see from women a lot of the times, they prioritize everybody else. They prioritize everybody over their needs. They're happy to invest in their team, in their family, in their children, but they don't invest in themselves. They don't look after their own well-being. They don't look after their own self-esteem and self-care. All of these things are vital. And the thing to remember here is that you can be a role model. You could be a role model for your children, for future generations, but only if you play the game. You have to step up and not play it safe. You have to have that bit of courage. So, what action will you take? Commit to some kind of action right now. Small steps is fine. In fact, if you keep taking small steps, you'll get just as far. Don't make it too scary, because if you put a massive action in place, then you might not do it because it becomes too scary. Just put something small in place. What small step could you take today in order to take action to help your career? So this is all about you and you committing to your career. So what would your life look like if you could find the courage to take the action? If you could find the courage to be brave and apply for that next level job, then what would it look like for you? Have a think about that. How much do you want it? How could your life look different? You know, some of this is about what the money could do for you, because actually you could end up with a nicer house, you could pay off your mortgage, you could get a nice car that you've always liked. Maybe you could go traveling, or maybe it's just about not being worried about how you're going to pay your electric bill this winter. You know, whatever it is, what does life look like for you if you had more money? But more than that, what does your life look like if you fulfill your potential? If you find yourself in a job where you're really adding value, what would your life look like? How proud would you be of yourself? You'd stop playing small, and you'd be making a bigger difference, and you'd just be so proud of yourself. And that's what most of us want. We want to feel proud. We want to feel like we've achieved something, don't we? That we've made a difference. And that's what this is all about. So these are the questions to ask yourself. What is the main thing holding you back? And then what is it you need to change in order to progress? How do you change that limiting belief? What is it you want to do? And then think about, what would you have if you got yourself a better job? What would your life look like? How would you feel? What would it give you? Take a little bit of time for yourself. Sit and answer these 3 questions, and then decide what you're going to do next. So I have got a right opportunity for people at the moment. I want to help ambitious women who are really committed to being better. I want you to be better. And we're getting towards Christmas now. It's the rundown to Christmas. I don't know how many weeks it is. I'm not going to count, but it can't be that many. And so what I'm looking to help people, I've created a new program called Fast Forward in 4. This is about 4 weeks, 4 hours, 1 hour a week, in order to get you where you want to go, in order to help you take the action that you need. And I'm offering this out to people. I want to have a conversation with people, but I've got 4 places. So I'm looking for 4 women who are ready for insane change over the next 4 weeks. And you'll become a case study opportunity so that we can share your story with other people and actually empower them. So if you're interested in this, if you've got something that you want to achieve over the next 4 weeks, then come and have a chat with me and we'll see whether it's right for you. So send me a message, drop me an email. There'll be a link in this email anyway for you to book a chat with me, because I really want to help people. And I know that sometimes people need a bit of a boost. They need a bit of a kick up the butt, don't they? You need somebody to hold you accountable, but you might not want to invest in a long coaching program. And I appreciate that. Not everybody's got the money or the time, but this is a short, sharp burst of activity. It's rapid results. So it's for people who are looking for insane change in the next 4 weeks. So let me know if you're interested in that. Or you can order my book, which you can buy on Amazon. If you look up Sheila Starr, you can buy it on Amazon, or you can buy it on my website, and there'll be a link below here for you to do that. If you buy it from me, it'll be a signed copy, and I will send that out to you over the next couple of days, because this is a nice, easy way. It's quite an easy read. It's in plain English. I don't do jargon and things, so it's quite straightforward to follow. The only thing that you have to do, well, there's 2 things. 3 things. 1, you have to buy it. 2, you have to read it. And 3, you have to take action. So if you don't take action, you'll just be wasting your money. But if you want it for yourself, or somebody else that might benefit from it, then buy it, because that will give you all the tools that you need, and it will go into much more detail about the stuff that I've been talking about here today. So just remember that you need to take action, because without taking action, then nothing will change. So that's it. These are 5 steps, and I've only touched on them really briefly with you today, but I just wanted to give you an idea. I want you to leave here, thinking to yourself, what are the steps I can take to make a difference to my career? Because you deserve more, and you're capable of so much more. I believe in you. You need to believe in yourself. So If you've got any questions about anything, or you just want to have a chat, you're interested in anything that I can help you with, then give me a shout. Let's have a chat and we'll take it from there. Okay, best of luck.